thing I had on me all the time, a cricket bat and a ball, and then obviously going to school in South Africa, school sport being such a big thing there, twice a week after school in year one, and I think it was a bug that I could never really shake. Bat and ball in the garden, around the pool, diving into the pool, taking catches and things like that, just part and parcel of growing up. I'll forever be grateful to the old man. Disciplinarian from up until I was about 13 and I went off to boarding school or whatever, and then he stopped viewing me as a kid. Started treating me like an adult, but it made me grow as a person, and by the time I'd left boarding school we were best mates. He was immensely proud of me, I was immensely proud of him. He was a great dad. He's raised 3 great girls below me, and him and my mum together forged a family bond and a household which was a great place to grow up. I am what I am now because of the sacrifices he made growing up to put me in places where I probably shouldn't have been. But he bent his back to point me in the right direction, and first person I phoned after Gloucester told me they would give me a contract. Been here now, I think this is my 6th season, so an established player in the dressing room. I'd signed on, and obviously when you sign on, I got this letter through the post saying I'm a member now of the PCA. Every year you learn something new, and they're great at supporting us and alerting us to the dangers that are out there in the world. I contacted Mark Wallace on a pretty dark day. I got a phone call from my mother and saying my dad had been hospitalised. He'd had a mental breakdown. I think he'd been suffering from undiagnosed depression for a good few months. And then in November of last year, I got a phone call from my mother just telling me dad had passed away, had taken his own life. The girls had walked in to find him in his bedroom. Being halfway across the world, and not being able to help and not being there, the immediate kind of emotions I felt was guilt, anger. Here I am, living my dream, playing cricket, and I'm not there for the people that probably matter most and I care about most. And Mark got a phone call on the darkest day that I can remember, and I don't know what he was doing. He could have been wherever. He could have been picking his kids up from school. I had no idea what he was doing, but it felt like time stood still, and his only priority was me, which is going above and beyond. 15-20 minutes later, I was getting bombarded with messages. Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we help? They offered straight away to help with flights. They offered straight away to send my partner with me. They told me to take as much time as I could, and it was overwhelming, the support I got from just a simple phone call. And like I said, I was down in a very low place, and I got a hand to pull me out, and I'll never forget it. I then very quickly, a couple of weeks later, picked up a stress-related illness, which no one knew what it was, but I'd lost between 5 and 10 kilos. I went through a stage where I lost 4 kilograms in 4 days, and they had referred me to someone in Bristol, and I had an appointment, I think 2 days later, and I sat down and started talking about where I was at in my head. Every time I'd find myself alone, whether it be for 5 minutes or for a few hours, some dark thoughts would come creeping in. Depression is not just something my dad suffered with, and that's an emotion I battled with for a while as well. Spoke to my doctor about as well, and something that I know that I've got to keep on top of, because it can quite easily come creeping up on you if you're not proactive with it. And it's something that, through talking to my doctors, I think my partner's understood, and it's helped me communicate with my partner a lot better. She has come with me, and she's also had a few sessions on her own, trying to figure out what's going on in my head. She's obviously dealing with her own emotions from what's happening. That's obviously taken a toll mentally on her, and she's been afforded the same help that I have, which, if you think about it, is crazy. And to get that level of support is fantastic. The trust has certainly shined a light on ways I should be thinking, things I should be thinking of, spending time on the right things in my life, spending the right amount of time playing cricket, the right amount of time looking after your family and looking after yourself. I can't look after my family, and no one can look after their family if you yourself are a big mess upstairs. It's something that I know I'm going to have to keep working on, but like I said, with the PCA and the trust, it's been fantastic, and it's made my life a lot easier. Gloucester have been awesome. Didn't put any pressure on me to come back to start training or things like that. Told me to take as much time off as I needed, and yeah, I just think that the way cricket is at the moment, from the counties to the PCA to your teammates, I think it's in a really healthy space, and information, like I've said a few times here, is so readily available, and it's the personal nature of that information and how it's shared with me that I think I will be grateful for the most. I've got someone on the other end of the line who genuinely has an interest in my life and what's going on, genuinely wants to help me and my family and see us succeed. There's not one thing that the charity itself and the trust itself does. It means support, it means stability, it means a helping hand when you need one. Any donation, any video, any miles done on a bike for any help it does get used. And I think we as players see where that money goes, and we see it goes into the game. And to be back here playing again, that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the PCA and for the Professional Cricketers Trust. PCA is helping in every way possible, in more ways than one. I can't explain how many ways they're helping, so I'll forever be grateful.